Hi guys, I have no idea if you can hear the wind out there. It is insanely windy here. It's windly here. It's insanely windy here. I don't know. I'm gonna make this video and pretend that you can hear me, and hopefully you can. My brows are a mess. Ignore them. I'm working some situations out with them. Like, I feel like I went really wrong in the 90s when I started to pluck them, but those bad decisions I'm paying for now because I'm kind of stuck with how they're growing in a weird way, and I think I might have influenced that. If it's possible, I don't know. So anyway, that is not what this is about. This is a pretty serious video, and I'm going to try to stick to it. It's a plan. I have a plan, a sobriety plan. This is the very first step of my sobriety plan, and I do not know 100% what it's going to look like, but I am trying to make commitments and write them down so that I can't back out of them later. Not that I can't, I still could. I mean, anybody can, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to plan it. I know that I have to be realistic, and I have to be ready for anything to change. If you have been on this journey with me from the beginning, then you know that when I first got sober, I discovered that you could have addiction behavior with any food. So I got sober and I stopped eating all of my trigger foods, and I was sitting down with veggies and eating way too much of them. And even though veggies are a healthy thing, and I wasn't making myself sick in that way, I was continuing the behavior, which made it really easy just to switch back. So I never really addressed the behavior. And also, I was overeating. I was making myself sick on vegetables. So yeah, it wasn't the same kind of sick as candy or fast food would make you, but it was still sick. And back then I addressed it and I worked on it, and I think I have tried, anytime I have realized something I'm doing is going in that direction, I try to call it out. I've made videos about eating alone again. I've made videos about eating all my calories at one point. No, it's not technically a binge because I get this many calories a day, but I'm saving them all to eat them at one moment to have that binge feeling and to enact that binge. So stuff like that is something I try to be hyper aware of, and as soon as I see it, I try to talk to you guys about it, and I try to change it. So you guys know that I've been on this journey and trying to figure out what I could do, and I have often said if I could just abstain from food you can alcohol or drugs, I totally would. And it is a hard place because you have to eat. You need nutrients, and you need food for life. You need those things and vitamins and all that stuff. So I think that I found something I'm going to do, and it's called Soylent, and it is basically a liquid food. I'm going to do my best to talk to you guys about it, but you can actually go to Soylent, SOYLENT.com, and read even more about it. But it's basically supposed to be everything you need to sustain life as a human, as a Homo sapien, in liquid form. So theoretically, you got this pouch of Soylent, and you mix it into water, and everything you need is there for one whole day. And I believe that a pouch, actually I have the paperwork. I want you guys to know that I'm not doing this in a gimmick way or in a fad way. I think you guys have been around. I have been researching it. I have been printing things and reading things, and I've gone to other blogs, and I'm getting the real people side of things and the science side of things. And I feel like this might be a good step for me. But I have the nutrients here. I printed that off the internet. And okay, so technically speaking, they're going on the whole 2,000 calories a day diet. So like your daily values, your daily recommended values, 2,000 calories a day for the average person. And then all your daily values are based off of that. So if you are somebody who is a small person, then your daily percentages for calorie intake are going to be smaller, and so are your needs for vitamins. Now, I don't know if that's a direct correlation, like if you need 1,500 calories, you only need 75% of the daily values of vitamins. I don't know. I'm still doing a lot of research on that and planning to take care of myself as an individual. I can't tell you. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a doctor. I don't know, right? I'm a Google expert. No, seriously, I'm just doing all the research I can do for me. So, anyway, the way it's worked out is that if you were that person, you would take 1 bag of Soylent for a day, for 4 meals. Or if you want to sip it all day, you can, or whatever. You take 1 bag of Soylent, mix it with the water, you wind up with this pitcher that is all of the vitamins and nutrients and everything that you need. And the way that Soylent 1.5, which is the powder form that they have out now, comes out is, it is 45% carbs, 40% fats, and 15% protein. Now, some people like their diets balanced differently. I think I had a conversation with you guys maybe 2 years ago that I realized that because I used Lose It to track everything, I could pull up how I had been eating, and that I felt good, and that I lost weight or maintained my weight well on a diet of about 15% protein, I think 30% fats, and the rest carbs. And that was a little bit skewed from what is recommended, but then when I was doing some research on runners and people who do those kind of exercises, it was kind of perfectly in line. So this is a little bit different, but it is pretty close to the way that I was eating when I felt fantastic and in control and everything. So I'm kind of excited about that. Then I have like all of their release notes that they send out, and I printed all those up so I could read them. I've been doing so much research, but basically my plan is to go 100% Soylent for 7 days. We're going to call that detox. I've already ordered it. I ordered it today, and I don't know. It's going to take 3 to 4 days to get ready, and then it's going to ship, and I don't know. But I'm going to call that detox. My long-term plan, I think, is to do, during detox, I'm not planning on doing a 2,000 a day calorie diet. I don't need that. I'm 5'3", and while my weight is, I think 175 was the last time I weighed in. I need to weigh in tomorrow, Friday. Yes. Anyway, when I weighed in, I don't need 2,000 calories a day, even when I work out a lot, because I might work out a lot and then my body hurts for 2 days, and so I have very minimal movements. I might stretch, I might do a walking DVD, but it's nothing like, I have a hair stuck on my lip. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. I might stretch, I might do a walking DVD, but it's nothing crazy. So I feel like any day where I work out a lot enough to like need to make up for that, I make up for that the next 2 days of not moving very much. Obviously, lately in my life, I have been trying to have more balance so that I don't have days that make it to where I can't move for a week, so that I don't have days that make it to where I can't move for, 2 days. And I have found a pretty good balance. But every once in a while, I feel great and I want to do more. And so it's like, well, I went running for those 3 miles, but I'd like to go for another walk. I would like to just enjoy life. And in my mind, I know that if I push that too much, if I run too far or whatever, I'm going to hurt and I'm not going to be able to move. But, it just kind of happens. Like, I know on the 30th of this month, I have a 10K scheduled. And the reality is that the next day, I'm going to skip my walk because I know I'm going to need recovery. And then the next day, I don't know if I'll be able to run. I'm hopeful, but I don't know. So we're going to see. Anyway, so my plan is to do, during 7 days, to do 1,500 calories. So basically, I'll be mixing up a pitcher of Soylent, and then I'll be consuming 3/4 of it for 7 days. I don't plan on eating anything else. Now, part of me, this is where it gets a little weird, because I have a smoothie plan. Like, I have my little coupon. I got a smoothie calendar. I think I told you guys about it. It's got coupons, and like, I have goals. And I'm totally gonna meet my goal of 50 miles this month, 50 miles exercised. And I also have my 10K. And my plan was to use my smoothie coupon after the 10K. So that's been there all month, and I'm doing it. So I'm kind of like, so do I do sobriety afterwards, or do I get the coupon? I mean, do I get the Soylent and use the coupon anyway? Is that letting myself off the hook? I don't know. I have to answer those questions. I have to answer them as honestly as possible and figure it out. I believe that in the long run of things, what I'm going to be doing after my detox is okay, so Soylent only for the detox for 7 days, and then I'm going to decide if I'm going to continue doing Soylent only for another 7 days. And then I'm going to, like, from that point on, it's just going to be a 7-day commitment to Soylent only. So if I'm like, okay, I'm 7 days in and I want to do 7 more days because that's where I feel comfortable, that's what I'm doing. Once I get to a point where I feel like I have more control and I have broken habits and I have disassociated food from myself, because that's really what this is about. It's about like not having food. And I don't say that like not having food. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's about all of the habits that feel familiar and that I associate with my addiction. It's about all of those things. It's about going into the kitchen to make the kids food and not having an excuse to eat any of it, because I have my food in liquid form. Here it is. That food is not like, it's really just trying to disassociate, to unlearn the behaviors that I have been learning for a very long time with food. So that's it. Once I have done that, so 7 days, if I feel like I can move to phase 2, I will. If not, I'll go 7 more days. If I get to the end of 14 days and I feel like I can move to phase 2, I will. And if I can't, I'm going to do 7 more days. That's how I'm doing this detox section of Soylent only. And then once I get to like long term, I know that for the first 30 days afterwards, I want to do 1,000 calories of Soylent, which is half of a pitcher a day, which is 2 meals, 1,000 calories of Soylent, and then do food. Now, whether or not I do like a breakfast Soylent, lunch Soylent, dinner Soylent, and then snack, or whether it's like breakfast and lunch and then dinner, I don't know. But what I do want to do is not even care about calories at that point. I'm doing 1,000 calories of Soylent, and then doing raw fruits and vegetables, steamed fruits and vegetables, and whole grains and beans. That's it. I'm not doing like fast food. I'm not doing like anything. It's going to be raw. And I'm thinking I will probably have fish in there. I'm not 100% sure. I do think that at the end of this, I will not be eating, I'll be ovo-lacto and eating fish. So what's that? Pescatarian. But I will not be eating chicken or turkey or, any of that. Not that I can't. If I wanted to have a steak, I could. I do want, but I'm just saying, like, as a regular occurrence in my diet, that's where I see myself going, with Soylent being the majority of my calories and the rest of my food being extremely whole. And I am going to let myself have smoothies that are planned, that come from my coupon calendar. That is going to happen. That's my short-term plan. At the end of 30 days, I'm going to evaluate how that worked and see if I want to go like another 30 days, take another, like see how like it goes. And at the end of like adjustments to the diet and the routine and everything, I'm going to set myself a 90-day goal, and then, another 90-day goal, and then hopefully we'll get to a year of sobriety and it'll be amazing. That's the goal. None of this is about weight loss. It really is not at this point. It's about finding some sort of control. I know that the next couple of months in my personal life, not even talking about my extended family, my mom and my brother and my sister and my dad, and just in my personal life, it's going to be chaotic. We are going to sell this house. Hallelujah. We are going to move into a whole new environment. I have never lived outside of my parish. I'm lying to you. I was born in New Orleans and raised 10 minutes from there in my home, my family home. I lived there for 21 years. I bought a home literally 2 minutes away. Katrina hit. So from Katrina, from September 2005 to April 2009, I lived outside of this parish. I did have a FEMA trailer for a brief moment where I lived in the trailer in the parish, but I lived like in Baton Rouge, and I lived in Hammond, and I lived in Metairie, which is Jefferson Parish. So that's like Baton Rouge, Tangipahoa Parish, Metairie is Jefferson Parish. Yeah, and I lived in all those places. But the goal was to get home, and it was impossible to be here. That's the only reason I wasn't here. Then the moment that it became possible, we moved here, and then we bought a house. And in all of those situations, I spent about a year. So, I spent 3 months in Mississippi, 6 months in Baton Rouge, about a year in Hammond, about a year in Metairie, and then I came home. Okay, so there we go. And then we bought this house, and the goal was to never move again. I have never voluntarily moved. So this is a big deal. It's a very big deal, but I'm excited about the changes, but we are moving far away. It's like an hour and 10 minutes, but it's a whole different world. I am so used to hearing the ships on the river and the trains and everything about this, and the smokestacks that I see my whole entire life. Everything about this world is my home, and I am excited about where we're going, but I am sad on a very deep level that I can't stay here, and I can't stay here. It's changing. New Orleans is getting insanely dangerous. It's been dangerous, but it's insanely dangerous, and it's starting to seep in, and it's just different, and my wife's work is not here, and this is not our future, but it is a sadness, and I need to have the addiction being worked on, because I cannot let that spiral into this sadness and become something different. And I know it's going to be stressful, and I can't let that stress attach itself to the addiction. And then there's all these other layers of my brother's sobriety and whether or not that will be successful. And I just cannot let that worry and everything that's going on attach itself to my addiction and pull me further from being healthy and sober. So I feel just like at the end of last year, my major goal was to get some sort of workout routine that I could fall back on even if I couldn't get out of the house. I was no matter what neighborhood I wind up in, no matter how confused and scared I am of my surroundings, I want to be able to work out. And I found that, and I got that, and I'm happy. But now that I have that to help me, because working out is definitely a tool for my sobriety. Now that I have that to help me, I have to get this. I have to. And I believe that Soylent is my first step in moving forward. I do want to say that from what I've read, they are constantly trying to perfect their formula, and I'm a little bit concerned because this Soylent 1.5 is their current powdered, and they just also introduced a liquid, and the liquid has a soy protein isolate as its protein, which is I think can cause estrogen, like it can mimic estrogen. And I have a history of breast cancer, and there's some overlap of information there. It is something I'm paying attention to. I want you guys to understand. I'm not trying to scare anybody off of anything or talk about any of that, really. I just want you guys to understand that I am looking at every possible complication and every possible situation, so I am paying attention. And what makes me a little bit nervous is that they are constantly trying to perfect their product, which means that they could change it. I could love Soylent 1.5. I could be doing very well for 6 months, and then they could change it and it could crash and burn. I'm also assuming that I won't have any. Some people have side effects like gas, but a lot of people say that that's gone in a week. Just different side effects, but I'm really just hopeful that I will not be one of those people and that this will work. And I feel like it's a good plan. It is a 7-day plan, and I can do 7 days of anything and figure it out. And I'm going to be talking to you guys, and we're going to be working it out together. So that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm really excited to be on this journey with you guys. And I will continually update you as like, I feel like this year has been so different because I think I've probably put out more videos in this January than all year last year. So it's a good situation for us. We are finally on that road. How exciting. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.